Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karen Sliwinski. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I live in Northeast Ohio. So today I'm going to show you how you can stack die cuts or punches and turn them into something that looks like chipboard. So this is the card that we are going to make today. It's really simple and fast, and I think you're going to love this technique. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to get started. Thanks. All right, we're ready to get started making our imitation chipboard. So I'm going to show you what we're using today. I've got 2 stamp sets using Positive Thoughts and Artistically Inked. I'm only using the Happy Birthday greeting from there. I am using Evening Evergreen as my color. We have some linen thread, and we are going to use a half a sheet of thick basic white. Now this is cut the long way, so this is cut 4 1/4 by 11. So usually I do it the short way, and when you do this, you definitely want to score it. Because of folding it in this direction, it does make a difference. And if you score it, it's just going to fold much nicer. If you don't score it, you kind of get some buckling. So we're going to give that a good crease, and then we need some strips of our basic white. The linen thread, like I mentioned, is about 44 inches long. And then we are going to need a scrap of basic white. This is just regular, it's not the thick, it's about 3 3/4 by 8 1/2. And then we need some crumb cake. This is 3 3/8 by 5 1/2. And the card sample that I made, I used Sahara Sand, but this time I thought I would try it with crumb cake, because it's just a little bit warmer of a color. And then I want you to tell me which one you like better in the comments. So we're going to start out by embossing this. And what I'm going to use are the dots and checks embossing folders. So here are the dots. They're sort of like great big Swiss dots, I guess, if you will. If you remember that from your earlier age. And then this is what the check one is, and this one is really pretty because it gives a very crisp impression. So I really like these 2 embossing folders. So I'm going to bring up my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I hope this doesn't shake it too much. Sometimes it's really hard. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our crumb cake and we're going to place it right in our folder, and it's just pretty much going to fit edge to edge. So I am going to try to line it up between the dots a little bit, and then close this up. So then you need your plate number 1. Oh, nope, I didn't grab my, this is right, plate number 1, and then plate number 3. Plate number 1 is also used when you're cutting, so that's what got me confused for a moment. And we're going to sandwich those in, and then we're going to run it right through. All right, so get it started. All right, it's jiggling just a little bit, but not too badly. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and you're going to see the nice deep impressions. It really does a fabulous job. All right, I'm going to set that aside, and then I am going to use my little mini trimmer, and we are going to cut this. And I just cut like 3 rows of my dots off. And so I just eyeballed it, and so we have our paper that's just like this. Okay, so 3 rows cut off. And we can go ahead and stick this down to our card front. So I'm going to use my glue, and you're going to leave about 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch on both sides. So we're going to start with this side over here, and I'm just going to place that on. Okay. Make sure I didn't flip my design. And then I'm going to add some glue here, and it's going to leave just a little bit of a gap between these two. So you really want to have this side and this side pretty even. You can have a bigger gap, smaller gap. It's really up to you. Slide that up just a little bit. And I see that I've got just a tiny bit hanging over. So I'm going to use my scissors. These are great little snips. And then I'm just going to trim off that little extra that was a tiny bit too long. Okay, so there is our front of our card. Now the next thing we need to do is stamp our image, and I've chosen to use this one. I thought this would make a very nice card for a man, or a woman would like it too, but sometimes we struggle with making those masculine cards. So I'm going to ink this up, and then I am going to stamp it on my piece of basic white. All right, close this up for now. And then the dies that go with this are called Nature's dies, and that's what this looks like. So I like to use some low-tack tape, and I just line this up, and you can see through that that little part at the stem. We're just going to line this up, and I just use that low-tack tape. I'm going to tape it down. So now I'm going to bring back my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Move my, and this time we use plate number 1, and then we have 2 number 2s. So I am going to sandwich this right here, and I'm going to get that started. Sometimes it's easier if you can kind of offset a little bit to get it started. There. All right, now I'm going to go cut some additional pieces. I'm going to cut some more of this one. I'm going to do 3 of them. So I am going to do that, and I will be right back. All right, now I am back. So I have this piece that I cut out, and then I have the 3 more pieces that are just done in the white. So now what we're going to do is stack these together. So I'm going to add just a little bit of glue. Try to get a little bit at the tip. You don't want too much glue because it'll, you know, squish out the edges. And then we're just going to put this one right on top, and you're just going to line it up. The nice thing about the glue is it allows you to slide it into place so that they are lined up. We're going to do it again with this 3rd one. I'm going to stick that right on top and slide it into place. And then this 4th one is going to be our stamped one. And when you see this all put together, it definitely has a very nice dimension to it. It's different dimension than you get with using dimensionals, which you know I love using. But this gives you shadows and just a thickness that can't be replicated just by lifting it off the paper. So there you can kind of see what kind of thickness you have there. Nice and solid. All right, the next step is we are going to stamp our happy birthday, and I have a scrap of the Whisper White, or excuse me, Basic White, and I am going to stamp happy birthday. Ink that up, and let's see if I can get this nice and straight. Oh, that looks great. All right, close this up. Don't want any accidents. And then I am just going to trim this down. So I'm going to take a little bit off of this edge, and I'm going to take some off of here. So now we're also going to stack this one up. And you could just, you know, cut more pieces, but just in case you didn't do it as exact all the way down, I have a piece that's just a little bit thinner, and I am just going to go ahead and cut that with my snips, and I'm going to do another one. Okay, so I have 3 pieces, and they don't even have to be all exact, but we're gonna stack these 3 together. And I'm gonna stack the shorter one in the middle. So here is the second one. And the third one. And then we're going to put this behind our happy birthday. So here's our happy birthday. I'm gonna give that some glue. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on here. And as you can see, it's just a little bit narrower than my happy birthday piece. So this gives you a really nice, solid happy birthday banner that we're gonna put on our card. So it is time to layer our pieces. So we're gonna have this here, and we're gonna have happy birthday down below. So we're just going to add our adhesive, and it's gonna go right over this gap. So I'm just going to position that about 3/4 of an inch or so from the bottom. Give that a good press, and then we're gonna adhere this. And I like to center this right in the gap so that the stem is there, and give that a nice press. All right, now we're gonna take our linen thread. So I've got about 44 inches, and I'm gonna cut that in half. And we're gonna wrap that around, and we're gonna tie it in a bow. So sometimes bows can be tricky. And so one thing that I have found very handy are these kind of tweezers that kind of clasp together, and they can be like a second hand. And so I've held them over where the knot is going to be, and that gives me a little bit extra control when I'm tying my bow. And then you can slip that out. So then you can adjust this to the length that you want for your bow. I think that looks pretty good. And then trim off your ends. And then I kind of like to spread this out a little bit here. Just a little bit of gap. And there we have our lovely birthday card. So what do you think? Do you like this chipboard technique? I think it's really fun, and I have some other ideas I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start out with this very simple card. I just love this one. I have taken and I stacked 2 of the white pieces here that are all the flowers and the greenery, and then I did 3 layers of the hugs. So that's all this card is, and it's got some really pretty background to it, and it makes a lovely card for somebody who's suffering a loss. So that's the first one. Then my next one, I have taken a floral image, and I have stacked this up, and then I made my sentiment to go over top. So what I did on this one, instead of having a piece all the way across for the underneath, if you can see kind of down there, I don't know if you can, but I have stacked up 4 layers just like I did here, and I put it a square of that underneath each end of my sentiment, and then the sentiment on top. So that's 1 layer higher than this one, and it lays perfectly well. And one of the great things about this, when you have a card like this go through the mail, it's not going to get squished by the rollers that the post office uses. So that's a nice fun technique. So this next one is a happy birthday card. I love these chicks. They are so fun. And so I have just layered up the chicks and the happy birthday. I've used one of our new masking stencils to do the background. Again, a really quick and easy card. This one's fun. This one is the all squared away set, and I did 4 layers of the white and then just did my matting. And I really love how you kind of get the shadow effect, because this is a fully raised up image, but it's solid in a lot of ways, so it gives you a very, very nice dimension. I thought that was fun. And then my last card is something from our new catalog. And isn't this penguin so cute? I cut 2 layers of the white, and I used some of our paper that is a Hostess set that you can get. This is a great set of paper that you can get. It's like a super duper thick pack of paper. Black and white on one side, and then all kinds of patterns and colors on the other side. And so I did 2 layers of this white, and then I think I did 3 layers of the penguin, and then a couple extra layers on the top part of his head. And then I Like You a Lotl, I did 4 layers of that one. So a very cute, simple card. I used my Stampin' Right marker just to add a little bit of swirl to the snow. It's a lot. It's like a little except a lot. I think that is so cute. So this is something that's new in the catalog, and you can get it. And then these are the cards. That's the card we made today. And this is the card that I had made as my sample. So please give me a thumbs up, share this video with your friends. I do appreciate you sharing and helping me to grow my business. If you need any of the supplies to make this card, I will put that in the description of my YouTube video as well as in my blog post. It's ThePowerOfACard.com. And let me know, which one of these tones do you like better? Do you like the cooler tone, or do you like this warmer tone using Crumb Cake? So thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you try this chipboard technique.